Welcome to this next short introductory video to our open Interfaith Health Science Center Zoom Sanctuary Inspirational Gathering. The next one is on the 2nd of November, 12 o'clock, noon, Winnipeg time. The betterment of the world can be accomplished through pure and goodly deeds, through commendable and seemly conduct. The confluence of holy souls, the journey of the soul. Shuhab Hassan. The soul is a creature of Allah. It is blown into every human being when it is just a fetus of 120 days old. It remains in contact, if not inside the human being, throughout its life on earth. And at the point of death, it departs from the body to reside in the heavens. Like everything else in the universe, it is a creation of Allah. But as above Quranic verse in the last Devotional informed us, mankind has been given only a limited knowledge concerning it. When a body is given a soul, life begins. When the soul leaves the body, life ends and death begins. We discuss all of this when we're in the devotional program. All are welcome. All are equals here. Everyone is free to suggest any changes that will make this a more fruitful gathering or take over arranging all or part of any session. In every session, there's a moment to get to know each other, what we're each praying for, what's on our hearts, what quote, song, inspirational saying we've brought and we wish to share. Inspired by what Muhammad al-Salawawi had learned in 2020, Muhammad founded the Abrahamic House, a multi-faith incubator for social change that hopes to change the way we approach interfaith dialogue through education and lasting bonds of friendship. Young people from different religions live together for 1 to 2 years at the house and have the opportunity to learn, gather, and serve, challenge, and transform faith-based assumptions, prejudices, and inequities with the goal to inspire and mobilize others to do the same. In the Lakota culture, the Lakota winter count. A winter count is a record of history for generations. Plains Indians drew pictographs to document their daily experiences. The Lakota term for winter count is Winiuetu Woapi. The word Woapi translates as anything that can be read or counted. Wanani Itu is the Lakota word for year, which is measured from the first snow to first snow. Usually drawn on buffalo skins or deer hide, Lakota winter counts are composed of pictographs organized in spiral or horizontal rows. In this week's sharing, we'll read more about winter counts and discuss that a bit. Honoring all the children that did not come home. Verily, with exceeding joy, with heart and soul, do these oppressed of thine offer themselves up to all mankind in every land. Thou seest them, O my Lord, weeping over the tears thy people shed, mourning the grief of thy children, condoling with humankind, suffering because of the calamities that beset all the denizens of the earth. Interfaith, multi-faith, why the difference? 3 goals of dialogue are succinctly summarized by Leonard Swindler, a Catholic professor of interreligious dialogue. 1, to know oneself more profoundly, just as one learns more about one's native land as a result of living abroad. 2, to know the other even more authentically. And 3, to live ever more fully, a process described as mutual transformation. Furthermore, John Cobb, a liberal Protestant scholar of interreligious dialogue, reflects the academic consensus when he states that a sharp distinction is made between dialogue and evangelistic witness. While the latter aims at conversion, the former does not. The goal is rather mutual understanding, appreciation, and transformation. Over the past months, every book about how to become an anti-racist has sold out. Millions of white people across the globe have joined the Black Lives Matter movement through marches, protests, and individual initiatives in the wake of the killing of George Floyd. Glad to see folks caring and showing up. This burst of engagement is necessary and will need to continue if we want to see significant change. Some of the questions I'm being asked by other white people has inspired me to reflect on our responsibilities. The 6th of November is a holy day, the birth of the Bab. The Bab, meaning gate in Arabic, is considered to have paved the way for the incarnation of Baha'u'llah, similar to the relationship between John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. Born in 1819 in Shiraz, Iran, the Bab's mission was to awaken the people to the fact that a new period of human history had begun. He called for spiritual and moral reformation, a revolutionary message in his time. I am the primal point from which have been generated all created things. I am the countenance of God, whose splendor can never be obscured, the light of God, whose radiance can never fade. The Bab. The next day, the 7th of November, is the birth of Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah was born in 1817 in Tehran, Iran, and established the Bahai faith, whose principal teachings are the oneness of humanity, the oneness of religion, and the oneness of God. The appearance of Baha'u'llah has been likened to a spiritual springtime, destined to spread peace and unity around the globe. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, sea for the thirsty, a haven for the distressed. Baha'u'llah. The dialogue about murdered and missing Aboriginal women is important if we are to build a community we all feel we belong in. It is a hard discussion and a difficult one, even traumatic to hear. Our Aboriginal sisters have had to go through this trauma. We can learn how they deal with being traumatized and can draw on their strength. If it is too much to bear, you can mute everything for the duration of the next slide. I had never identified with murdered missing Indigenous women, even though my mother was murdered by her common-law partner when I was 8 years old. I didn't think she fit the category because she had not gone missing first. When I attended the pre-inquiry meeting in Yellowknife in 2016, it lit a fire inside me because I realized that I could use my voice to make change. During the first gathering, members visiting were a lot of talk about the issues First Nations are facing and the talk of chiefs and reserves. The other Inuit members and I explained that we are Inuit and that our issues are different and we deal with them differently. We live in an isolated part of the world and our women are dealing with a lot of family violence. I wanted to ensure people in our region had a voice, that their concerns were represented in this national process. Although, like many other interfaith organizations, the Abrahamic House celebrates a variety of religious holidays such as Passover, Ramadan, and Christmas, and participates in interfaith events. The fellows at the Abrahamic House make a concerted effort to elevate discussions beyond that. They focus on community service, human connection, and sharing both joys and pain with each other. Their goal, Muhammad says, is to bring both information to people's minds and love to people's hearts. Do Black Lives Matter? Most certainly, for they are the pupil of the eye of humanity. Wert thou to bestow on one of thy creatures what would equal the kingdoms of earth and heaven, it would still not diminish by even as much as an atom the immensity of thy dominion. Far greater art thou than the great one men are wont to call thee. For such a title is but one of thy names, all of which were created by a mere indication of thy will. There is no God but thee, the God of power, the God of glory, the God of knowledge and wisdom. Make a list of your friends and invite them to this devotional or devotional you begin. It is a gift from you to them. The devotional you can begin can be as simple as phoning a friend and sharing a prayer with them. They may be sick and need a healing prayer, struggling and need to share is there any remover of difficulties prayer. It is a gift from you to them. It could begin with, before we hang up, would you like to share a prayer I'm feeling? Hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you're able to join us on Tuesday. If not, I hope you too begin your devotional by phoning friends. Take good care. Share prayers. Make your life a prayer.